actually fly in
I
air.
just really hope
That's
that
impressive.
technology doesn't end up in the wrong hands.
That's true.
So
That's something that can be concerning.
what do you think about AI though?
I don't like it being used for the wrong things. There's so many things it's used for.
It's already being used for some bad shit.
I heard one that was using kids in terrible ways, which is just always just terrible. It's just disgusting. There's ways it can be used in explicit ways, which I don't think it should be. It being used to steal people's art. I've seen a lot of that, and I'm just like, that's just, it's not nice. Imagine creating, sorry to cut you before, but imagine creating something, spending a lot of time, I'm getting into art, and imagine putting so much time into something, making something so beautiful and having it stolen. It's getting stolen by regular people, but AI is even better at stealing those things and making it and warping it. I don't really agree with that. I agree that it can be used in ways to advance us, maybe, but I want to see those ways they can advance us in ways, and then maybe I'd be a bit more accepting of it, but as it is right now, it's really just being used for bad things. And I feel maybe if they had a better handle on who had access to it and what it could be used for, then yeah, I think it could help us. But it was like, again, like I'd have to see those advancements first.
I feel like AI as right now, it's more of a test run for like humanity to see like what we're gonna do with it right now to like, I guess, reflect on how we handle it in the future. Because like imagine like we can't even get through this phase, and I mean it's a good thing because now we get advanced. Because imagine, I feel like to probably prevent like misuse of AI, we could try to like make it one of those systems where maybe you need like a registration or a license or something to use it, so like you can actually, you know, have repercussions for like abusing it. But then at the same time, knowing some like some system might actually abuse the people who actually, you know, go in that system, because they might end up just letting, like, abusing the power they have over people, just being able to punish them. But
like registration could help hold people accountable, but it could also be used against people who are using it innocently.
And I also feel like AI is like, it's either, it could be one of the greatest things, making like people, like probably replacing people in jobs, so like we can have some more times, more free time, and like do other greater things.
AI or robots?
Maybe robots, maybe AI.
Maybe they run off a similar program.
Go ahead.
I'm still worried or concerned about the effect that AI might have on humanity, because we might lose our independence. Who knows? Because, you know,
We could start relying too much on AI, using it for everything to the point we forgot how to do anything for ourselves.
Yes, which is true.
but hopefully AI ends up becoming more beneficial rather than detrimental to our progress or evolution.
I think that too. Hopefully, we can only hope. You know. Moving on. As we just finished speaking about AI, I'm sure you guys have some wild movies that you've been watching, and you know.
Wild. You want to know like our favorite?
Yeah. What's your favorite movies
or,
and why?
You want to start? Should I?
Mine currently is probably Whiplash, which is, I'm not sure if that's relatable or not, but it's like, I don't really relate to it necessarily, the movie or the plot, but I just really like the concept, and like I kind of understand like the whole story.
What is it about though? Could you? Because I mean, I don't know what that is. Could you give us a little intro?
Synopsis.
So, sorry. There's this. Fuck. What do you call drum people?
What?
What do you call drum people?
In which way?
Like people who play drums.
Drummer?
Well, there's this jazz player or jazz drummer who has the desire to become the number one, you know, and he's willing to do anything to achieve that goal.
Does it take a dark turn?
And his mentor kind of is very narcissistic, so it's like he knows he has potential, so but then he has like an ideology that even with potential, or like I guess essentially just nothing is ever good enough. It has to surpass the best to become even greater. So he like, even if the main character is doing, you know, the best,
Phenomenally well.
yeah, he's still not going to be good enough for it. Still wasn't good enough for the instructor. So he kept like making these impossible expectations to like reach
Yeah.
for the main character, but then like the main character still ended up succeeding and like even gaining the recognition or approval of the instructor, and it was just because of his drive to become the best.
That's impressive.
Impressive. So what stood out about it?
I feel like it's like inspiration in a way. Not in a way that I want to have an instructor that's abusive or, you know.
But you want to do the best you can, and you can do better than what you can.
Yeah. So you can
surpass like even the ideology of what the best is already.
Okay.
That's impressive.
So what about you, Jalivia?
I am kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say indecisive, but I have like, I just really, it's hard, you can really ask me what my favorite thing is because either I have too many things I really love, but like, I guess
Things or movies?
Movies, but I'm talking about in general, music, colors, all that stuff. So in this case, when it comes to movie, I could probably narrow it down to like someone I really enjoy. I can't really pick a favorite. If you're gonna say like a favorite Disney movie or Disney princess movie, I'd say Mulan. If it's a favorite horror or thriller movie, which I don't really like horror thriller, I'd say The Black Phone. To elaborate on that, I don't like horror thriller, but like for some reason I just really love The Black Phone, and I'm interested in watching the second movie. I wasn't really expecting much from it when I first saw. Like I watched the trailer when it first came out, and then I actually watched it when it came out because I think it was a little in between, a little while before it came out. But anyways, I'll elaborate on that in a second. The favorite superhero movie would probably be Spider-Man, like Spider-Man Homecoming. That's Tom Holland's Spider-Man. You know, there's Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Mans, both of which I watched and loved. But I think Tom Holland's is one of my favorites. And favorite, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe this movie, but Now You See Me, both the first and second movie, I love those movies. I saw clips of them on YouTube and I decided to watch it. And as soon as I started watching it, I couldn't get enough of it. And then I had to watch the second one right after. And it's like, I would say that's probably one of my top movies that I love. Especially, I just love how they executed each magic scene. How it just really like, what the heck, that's crazy. I really like the scene when they were pulling off a robbery. Technically, it's because they were being forced to, and then how they kept on flying this card to each other. That was impressive. And what to elaborate on, I can elaborate on each of them if it makes sense on each movie. Or
well, I just really wanted to choose a specific one that really resonates with you, and you know,
I don't know if I would say one resonates, but maybe Mulan.
Yes.
I think of all the princesses, well, I relate with Tiana, which is Princess and the Frog. The Princess and the Frog, sorry, the most. Because even though it's not one of my, I didn't think it was my favorite movie, but I do relate with her more because of obvious reasons. But Mulan, Mulan has always been one of my favorite Disney princess movies. I like the type of character Mulan is. I like that she, how brave she is, first of all. I like that she's a badass. I like badass movies. It's just one of the things. If I was to make a list of some of my favorite movies, you would see a common thing being how badass some characters are, including the ones I just mentioned, like Finny from The Black Phone and Mulan, and each of the characters in Now You See Me, and obviously Spider-Man. But I like how brave she is. I like how much she loved her father to the point, and her family in general. Not even just her father as a specific person, but if she would have done it for anyone, it shows that she would have done it for any of those people. That she was really willing to risk her life and her honor just so she would keep her father safe. I like that. My favorite song from Mulan is "Make a Man Out of You," and I love the lyrics, the rhythm, everything about it. But I liked how we saw the development of Mulan being terrible at first, obviously because she wasn't really built for this type of training, and then she surpassed all those expectations. She became the best one there. I love my favorite scene from the movie and the song is her climbing to the top using the weights and sitting there, and everyone, in a way, she was an inspiration to all the men there. She was a woman, not even supposed to be there, and she became inspiration that caused everyone there to get better. That's impressive to me. And I would like to be like Mulan in a way. Yes. Like in a different circumstance, obviously, but Mulan is very inspiring.
Beautiful. You guys, I think, chose two beautiful movies, and the definition of those movies were very inspiring.
If I could elaborate on Black Phone a bit, yes. In the story, it's like a thriller horror. So there's this guy kidnapping kids.
Yes.
It's pretty sad, honestly, but still. And he's kidnapped, I think 5 boys before. 2 or 3 that Finny, the main character, doesn't really know. 1 that he met when he played against the baseball, and his best friend, Robin. And then the grabber is the villain. He kidnaps Finny. And in Finny's family, there seems to be a gift because his sister has visions of like either events that's happened or the future or things. It's just psychic visions. And then, as I said, grabber kidnapped these boys. I was elaborating on the family having some psychic powers, but the emphasis on this is. The grabber kidnapped the boys and then he killed them before kidnapping other boys. And he kidnapped Finny. And then we kind of find out now, there's a phone in the basement, but it's disconnected. It rings, and you're like, what the heck? And then he tries to call for help before realizing he's talking to a boy, and it's one of the kidnapped boys. The boys are dead, so he's talking to a ghost. And now it's kind of we don't really know at first if it's just his imagination, if he's hallucinating, if it's the ghost, if the phone is the power, if it's Finny's power, because technically, I think, my personal belief is that Finny has powers too, just like how his sister Gwen has psychic powers, and I think their mom probably had powers, like Gwen, so he probably has the ability to communicate with ghosts. But again, it's never really confirmed whether it was him hallucinating, whether it was just a ghost or the phone that had power, or if it's him, but I would say it's him. So now he's talking to these other kidnapped boys, and these boys decide, even though they're dead, they're not going to let that stop them from helping him. They guide him on what not to do. He tries multiple different ways to escape, both helped by the boys and his own ideas, and he tries. And it's sad because he tries and tries, and it seems like he's not going to get out. And then he gets the closest to his escape is when he actually does escape. Sadly, though, the dog, I think the grabber has a dog, and it alerts him, and he wakes up because the grabber was sleeping, and he chases after Finny. Finny gets pretty far, but then the grabber, using a truck versus a boy who's been malnourished because he's been starved and kidnapped and weak, he obviously catches Finny again. So that makes it pretty bad for Finny. But he's upset, he's been captured again, and it really seems like he's never going to get out. He gets a call, the first call he gets from his best friend, for Robin. And Robin's like, don't cry. And he helps him, he teaches him how to do some fight moves or whatever, because Finny technically, to go back, Finny was bullied too, and Robin used to always defend him, and Robin's a really good fighter. But the thing is, Finny always had it in him. It's just that he didn't want to be the person to fight. He didn't want to